The Kingdom of Shadow by Richard A. Knaak. Deep within the treacherous jungles of Kehjistan, a band of mercenaries led by the seasoned Captain Kentril Dumon embarked on a perilous quest, lured by the promise of untold riches from the enigmatic Vizjerei sorcerer Quov Tsin. Their destination, the ruins of Ureh, a legendary city said to have ascended to heaven, leaving behind treasures beyond imagination. The journey proved arduous, testing the limits of their endurance and claiming the lives of several mercenaries to the unforgiving jungle and its monstrous denizens. Kentril's frustration grew with each passing day as Quov Tsin's cryptic instructions and apparent disregard for the lives lost became increasingly evident. As they finally reached the ruins of Ureh, the sorcerer unveiled his true intentions: to harness the residual power of the city's ascension and access the treasures left behind by its departed inhabitants. A mysterious necromancer named Zayl emerged from the shadows, his presence both unsettling and intriguing. A native of the region and well-versed in the legends of Ureh, Zayl sought to commune with the archangels and the celestial forces that governed the balance of the planes of existence. He viewed the mercenaries' intrusion as a disruption to this delicate equilibrium, a potential catalyst for calamity. Unheeding Zayl's warnings, Quov Tsin proceeded with his elaborate ritual, employing a complex array of magical devices and uttering arcane incantations. As the shadow of Mount Nymer stretched across the ruins, the mercenaries witnessed a breathtaking spectacle. Ureh restored to its former glory, with flickering lights illuminating the once crumbling structures and echoes of its past inhabitants filling the air. However, the city remained eerily silent, devoid of any true life. The treasures they sought were nowhere to be found, and a sense of unease settled upon the group. As they ventured deeper into the ruins, they were ambushed by a monstrous demonic cat, a creature of darkness that tore through their ranks, leaving behind a trail of carnage and further diminishing their numbers. Fear and doubt began to gnaw at the mercenaries' resolve, but the allure of riches and the promise of rewards kept them from abandoning their quest. Zayl, convinced that the mercenaries' presence would ultimately bring about disaster, resorted to using his necromantic powers to conjure the ghost of their fallen comrade, Hargo. The haunting vision of their mangled and tormented friend served as a stark warning, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurked within Ureh. Yet, despite the fear that gripped their hearts, the mercenaries pressed on, their desire for wealth outweighing their trepidation. As the shadow of Mount Nymer once again enveloped the ruins at the appointed hour, Quov Tsin prepared for his final ritual. The air crackled with magical energy as a crimson light bathed Ureh, and a shimmering ethereal city seemed to rise above the ruins. But just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, leaving the mercenaries confused and disappointed. Tsin revealed that their true objective lay within this ethereal city, a realm existing between the mortal plane and heaven. He believed that upon ascending, the people of Ureh had left behind their earthly possessions, including vast treasures and powerful magical artifacts. He had meticulously calculated the exact moment when the ethereal city would reappear, and with the mercenaries' assistance, he planned to access its hidden riches. Kentril, torn between his desire for wealth and his growing unease about the true nature of Ureh, reluctantly agreed to participate. As the shadow of Nymer fell upon the ruins once more, they witnessed the ethereal city materialize before their eyes. This time, the city was teeming with ghostly figures, its inhabitants seemingly trapped in a state between life and death, their hollow eyes and mournful expressions reflecting their eternal torment. Led by Juris Khan, the former ruler of Ureh, the ghostly figures beckoned the mercenaries to follow. Zayl recognized Khan and realized the true nature of the city, a realm of limbo where the souls of Ureh's people were trapped, unable to reach the sanctuary of heaven or return to the mortal plane. Khan explained that Ureh's ascension had been sabotaged by Gregis Mazi, a trusted sorcerer who had subtly altered the spell, intending to send them to the depths of hell instead. Khan, his daughter Atana, and a few loyal followers had managed to escape that fate, but they were now condemned to an eternity in limbo. He revealed that the key to their salvation lay in two magical gems: the key to shadow and the key to light. These gems, placed in specific locations, would anchor Ureh to the mortal plane, allowing them to escape their timeless prison and rejoin the world of the living. Kentril, captivated by Atana's ethereal beauty and moved by their plight, readily agreed to help. He and a small group of mercenaries, accompanied by Zayl, embarked on a perilous journey to retrieve the key to light, which had been lost atop the treacherous slopes of Mount Nymer. Facing treacherous climbs, freezing temperatures, and the ever-present danger of falling to their deaths, they eventually found the gem, its brilliance illuminating the darkness around them. As the first rays of dawn approached, Kentril, with a sense of both hope and trepidation, placed the key to light in its designated spot. The shadow of Nymer held firm, preventing Ureh from vanishing once more. The city and its people were restored to a semblance of life, their forms becoming more substantial, their voices filled with joy and gratitude. Juris Khan, eternally grateful for their assistance, welcomed Kentril and his men as heroes, showering them with praise and promises of riches and positions of power within the kingdom. Kentril, however, remained troubled by the inconsistencies in Khan's story and the unsettling nature of Ureh and its inhabitants. His suspicions deepened when several of his men went missing, their belongings mysteriously vanishing from their quarters without a trace. The once celebratory atmosphere of the city began to feel oppressive, and a sense of foreboding hung over the mercenaries. Zayl, sharing Kentril's concerns, sought to uncover the truth about Gregis Maisie. He attempted once more to summon the sorcerer's shade, hoping to glean information about the events surrounding Ureh's ascension. However, his efforts proved futile, leading him to the unsettling conclusion that Maisie was still alive, his presence hidden somewhere within the city or its surrounding shadows. As Kentril and Atana grew closer, their bond deepening with each stolen moment together, Zayl and Gorst, driven by a shared sense of unease, investigated the disappearances of the mercenaries. Their inquiries led them to a startling discovery. The palace guards, seemingly loyal protectors of the kingdom, were not human but rather golems, animated constructs imbued with a semblance of life and tasked with guarding the secrets of Ureh. This revelation further fueled their suspicions and cast a dark shadow over the supposed benevolence of Juris Khan and his rule. Their investigation eventually led them to Kentril, whom they found held captive by Juris Khan within a hidden chamber deep beneath the palace. There, the true nature of Ureh's ruler and the city's dark secret were revealed. Juris Khan, once a pious and benevolent leader, had been corrupted by Diablo, the Lord of Terror, who had masqueraded as the Archangel Miracotus, twisting Khan's desire for good into a lust for power and dominance. Khan unveiled his sinister plan to use Kentril's blood in a ritual that would permanently bind Ureh to the mortal plane and unleash its demonic inhabitants upon the unsuspecting world. He believed that by doing so, he would fulfill the will of his Archangel and bring about a new era of darkness and despair. Zayl, Gorst, and Kentril, horrified by this revelation, managed to escape from Khan's clutches, realizing the true extent of the threat they faced and the dire consequences should they fail to stop him. With time running out and the fate of the world hanging in the balance, they knew they had to act swiftly and decisively. They devised a desperate plan to split up and each attempt to destroy one of the keys before sunrise. Zayl, accompanied by his golem companions, would confront Juris Khan and his demonic hordes in a final, desperate battle, sacrificing himself to buy time for the others. Kentril and Gorst would once again ascend Mount Nymer, facing the relentless pursuit of Ureh's corrupted inhabitants, their determination fueled by the knowledge that the fate of the world rested on their shoulders. Zayl's confrontation with Juris Khan proved to be a brutal and harrowing ordeal. The necromancer, wielding his ivory dagger and summoning forth the powers of the great dragon Tragul, faced off against Khan's formidable magic and the relentless onslaught of his demonic minions. Despite his valiant efforts and the assistance of his golem companions, Zayl was eventually overwhelmed, his body broken and battered, his spirit nearly extinguished. However, through sheer willpower and a cunning deception orchestrated by the disembodied skull of Humbart Wessel, Zayl managed to survive, his life hanging by a thread but his resolve unwavering. Meanwhile, Kentril and Gorst ascended Mount Nymer, their path illuminated by the eerie gray light granted by Zayl's spell. They climbed with a desperate urgency, knowing that time was of the essence and that the demonic horde led by Juris Khan would soon be upon them. As they neared the summit, the horrifying creatures emerged from the shadows, their grotesque forms and ravenous hunger a testament to the depths of Ureh's corruption. Gorst, his loyalty to his captain unwavering, made the ultimate sacrifice, holding off the horde with his mighty axe and allowing Kentril to reach the key to light. With the sun rising on the horizon, casting its golden rays upon the peak, Kentril faced a heart-wrenching choice: to succumb to the seductive promises of Etana and the allure of immortality, or to fulfill his duty and protect the world from the encroaching darkness. The memories of his fallen comrades, the sacrifice of his loyal friend Gorst, and the knowledge of the horrors that awaited should he fail, steeled his resolve. With a heavy heart, Kentril destroyed the key to light, unleashing the sunlight upon Ureh and its corrupted inhabitants. The city crumbled to ruins, its demonic denizens dissolving into ash, their screams of agony echoing through the mountains. Juris Khan, his true nature exposed as Diablo's puppet, met his demise, his form twisting and contorting into a monstrous abomination before collapsing into dust. Etana, her ethereal beauty fading as the sunlight touched her, shared a final, sorrowful glance with Kentril before disappearing into nothingness. The palace of Juris Khan, once a symbol of Ureh's glory, crumbled into ruins, its foundations collapsing as the light of dawn erased the last vestiges of the shadowed kingdom. Kentril, gravely injured but alive, fell from the mountain peak, his descent seemingly leading to certain death. However, through a final act of compassion and perhaps a lingering trace of love, Etana's magic intervened, guiding him towards the ruins of Ureh and into the waiting arms of Zayl, who had miraculously survived his own ordeal. Together, Kentril and Zayl, battered and weary but alive, emerged from the ruins of Ureh, leaving behind the remnants of a once glorious city and the echoes of a nightmare that had nearly consumed them. They journeyed through the Kehjistan jungles, seeking refuge among Zayl's brethren, the enigmatic necromancers who resided in hidden enclaves, their wisdom and understanding of the delicate balance between life and death, offering a beacon of hope in the aftermath of Ureh's destruction. Kentril, haunted by the memories of Etana and the fallen mercenaries, grappled with the weight of his choices and the path that had led him to Ureh. The seductive promises of the princess, the allure of immortality, and the camaraderie he had shared with his men now seemed like distant dreams, replaced by the harsh reality of loss and the lingering scars of betrayal. Zayl, his body bearing the marks of his encounters with Juris Khan and his demonic minions, contemplated the complexities of his calling and the responsibility that came with wielding the powers of life and death. The near-death experiences he had endured had left him with a profound understanding of the fragility of existence and the ever-present struggle between the forces of light and darkness. They eventually reached a secluded enclave of necromancers deep within the jungles, a sanctuary hidden from the prying eyes of the outside world. The necromancers, a secretive and often misunderstood group, welcomed them with a mixture of curiosity and caution. They had heard whispers of Ureh's destruction and the defeat of a powerful demonic force, and they recognized the significance of Kentril and Zayl's roles in those events. The elder necromancers, wise and experienced in the ways of the dead and the undead, examined Zayl's injuries, their touch gentle yet firm. They offered him not only physical healing, but also spiritual guidance, drawing upon their deep understanding of the forces at play in the world and the delicate balance that must be maintained. They listened intently to Zayl's account of Ureh's fall, recognizing the subtle influence of Diablo, the Lord of Terror, and the ever-present threat posed by the prime evils. Kentril, despite his initial apprehension towards the necromancers and their association with death, found himself drawn to their wisdom and their unique perspective on the world. He shared his own experiences, his struggles with guilt and doubt, and his desire to find meaning and purpose in the aftermath of Ureh's destruction. The necromancers offered him guidance and support, reminding him that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail, and that the actions of a single individual, no matter how insignificant they may seem, can have a profound impact on the world. As Kentril and Zayl spent time among the necromancers, their bond deepened, forged in shared experiences, mutual respect, and a growing understanding of the complexities of the world and the forces that shaped it. Kentril's perspective broadened as he learned more about the necromancers' beliefs, their role as guardians of the balance between life and death, and their unwavering dedication to protecting the mortal realm from the encroaching darkness. Zayl, inspired by Kentril's courage, determination, and unwavering sense of justice, found renewed purpose in his own calling, his resolve strengthened by the knowledge that he was not alone in his fight against the forces of evil. Eventually, the time came for them to part ways. Kentril, his injuries healed and his spirit somewhat restored, felt a pull towards his homeland of Westmarch. He knew that the world needed heroes, individuals willing to stand against the darkness and fight for the light, and he was determined to continue on that path, carrying with him the lessons he had learned and the memories of those he had lost. Zayl, his arm lost, but his resolve stronger than ever, chose to remain among his brethren, the necromancers who had offered him sanctuary and healing. He would continue to hone his necromantic skills, delve deeper into the mysteries of life and death, and prepare himself for the battles to come, knowing that the fight against the prime evils and their minions was far from over. With heartfelt farewells exchanged and promises made to meet again should fate allow, Kentril and Zayl parted ways, each embarking on a new chapter in their lives. They carried with them the lessons they had learned in the shadowed kingdom of Ureh, the memories of those they had lost, and the unwavering determination to make a difference in a world forever threatened by the encroaching darkness. Their journey, a testament to the enduring power of hope, the resilience of the human spirit, and the bonds of friendship forged in the face of adversity, would continue to inspire those who fought for the light long after the ruins of Ureh had faded into legend. If you enjoyed this summary, please consider subscribing to the channel.